made. 5 bills to get you whacked. 50 shots up in this Mac. Face shot to make the news. We just step when they relax. Group chat to get you tapped. Foreign head up in my lap. When they punt, we run it back. Tell my youngin' cut no slack. 5 bills to get you whacked. 50 shots up in this Mac. Face shot to make the news. We just step when they relax. Group chats to get you tapped. Foreign head up in my lap. When they punt, we run it back. Tell my youngin' cut no slack. Resume, I run up stats. 1,000 yards up in this flat. In the setup like the draft. Taller standing like giraffes. I go stripes with a zebra. And I'm conscious when I lack. Goofy niggas, they be playing. Put your body on this mat. Give my youngin' half a stack. We just jug and do the math. Patriotic in my path. Hit the jail, we fuck the staff. I'm a gangster, but I rap. Now a Remy did the pap. Cause I really stand on business. Niggas acting like they that. Couple rookies with me ballin'. Bitches hit me, they be calling. They go hefe, he be all in. I just love they let the dog in. I just ballin' this ball main. Like tears with this hard pain. I been building a large name. Hit the streets with a guard game. I know niggas that charge fame when you get out your yard lane. Niggas talk like they 10-2. To the chopper chop 10 you. Who gon' chop and defend you when we kill all your friends too? Pull up in that Benz proof. Pull up in that Benz. 5 bills to get you whacked.
What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'ma bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young and Hefe, and I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topics is gonna be my man Rodney, man. Out the way, man. Rodney out the way, man. Rodney is out the way by way of Ohio. So I'm pretty sure y'all been hearing what's been going on. If y'all not, y'all definitely gonna get a bar of it here, you know what I'm saying? So a few days ago, it was one of them other police shootings to where, you know what I'm saying, somebody, you know what I'm saying, of our melon tone skin and of our background, you know what I'm saying, was gunned down by policemen. So as the story is being told, it was a young dude, you feel me? And I guess allegedly he was sitting in a stolen car. Him and a few other occupants. We don't know who the other occupants were. This car was stole from Kentucky. So I guess you know certain parts of Kentucky and Ohio border each other. The car stole from Kentucky ends up in Ohio. Lil dude that's unalive, sit in the car, him and a few of his buddies. Police pull up on him, you know what I'm saying, with a car parked, because I guess whoever car was stolen had a tracker on their car and tracked their car across the river. Police get on them. All occupants of the car hop out, take off running. From what body cam is going to be body cam, so y'all can draw your own conclusions and opinions to this situation. Dude is running. They're back to the police after they hop out the car. Police go and pursue after these dudes. Supposedly a gun was heard hitting the ground. Supposedly one of the occupants slipped, grabbed the gun, hopped up, took off running again. What I'm not understanding is, whether I got a gun or not, if my back is towards you and I'm running, and let's just say I got the gun in his hand and I'm running, how you gonna fire on me and shoot me? So what we need to find out, and what hopefully we about to find out, I need to know and want to know, where was the shots coming from? Was he hit from the side? Was he hit from the back? Was he hit from the front? Because they gave chase and then they started running through like some trash cans. It looked like some woods, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely tell it ain't where I'm from Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? It looked like some rural place, you know what I'm saying, that they was running through, some backwoods and stuff like that. So these officers give chase and execute this dude. And it ain't like they could have fired on the police when the police first pulled up on them. You know what I'm saying? They hopped out, they trying to get on. So, however, when this happened, you know, the family is notified and stuff like that. And I guess the father, you know what I'm saying, had went to like some type of meeting, I guess, with the city and or like the police, you know what I'm saying? Might have been like the police station that was involved in his son unaliving. And after leaving there, you know, he allegedly seen a cop doing a traffic stop and ran that cop over because his son was executed. And so that's the first time I heard about the story, was when the father allegedly acted and supposedly unalived a police officer. And, you know, those that want to be politically correct, as in the form of the courts and the politicians that have that mind frame, gonna look at him as disobeying and going against the law that they set in order. But how is you to tell somebody to handle disrespect and how to feel indifferent about their child that was executed? That boy never raised no gun, never shot at no police, nothing. He was running, and I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna show that his back was towards the police. And I just feel this is something to definitely go to jail about and or die about, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of gang members is not gonna enact what was done that this man did, you know what I'm saying? He definitely got some revolutionary principles, you know what I'm saying? And just standing on principles as a man. Like, you can't do this with no badge or whatsoever. Like, you just unalive my kid. And I understand the gist of him having a gun. And if he pointed the gun, or if y'all was head on, he had a gun and try to raise it up, then that's something different. But somebody running from you with a gun, and you can pow, 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 pow. Target practice, that ain't cool. But let's get into this content.
This is a guy who killed a cop. You got to imagine. You see all these people, they're cops. Because cops stand with cops.
Chaos at court as a man accused of killing a sheriff's deputy a day after his son was shot by a police officer asked to be released on bail. I lay out the horrific chain of events out of Ohio and where the case could be heading.
Are you familiar with acts of someone that is not in their right mind when they commit a criminal act?
I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Before I get into this case out of Ohio, I want to talk a little bit about true crime news and law and crime merch. The law and crime man named Rodney Hinton Jr. deliberately drove his vehicle into Henderson at this intersection. Deputy Henderson was rushed to the local trauma center, but there was nothing that could be done to save him. Within hours, he passed away from these devastating injuries. You're probably asking yourself, why would anybody deliberately drive a vehicle into somebody, much less a sheriff's deputy who was directing traffic at a college graduation? Well, police say Rodney Hinton Jr. did this on purpose, possibly to avenge the death of his son, Ryan Hinton. Ryan Hinton was 18 years old, and a day earlier, a Cincinnati police officer shot and killed him after encountering him and some others in a car that had been reported stolen out of Kentucky. Here's the police chief.
Officers across the country confront dangerous situations every day, sometimes more than once a day. They are often compelled to make split-second decisions to protect others and themselves when faced with immediate threats. Yesterday was one of those occurrences. Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic. No one wins, and everyone involved is affected.
Police Chief Teresa Thigi outlined what occurred. It's something the Cincinnati Police Department does within 24 hours of an officer-involved shooting taking place.
Where the incident occurred is at the dead end of the parking lot back here. You'll see vehicles there now. You'll see a photo. The stolen car that we're going to talk about was backed into a parking spot back there. As you can see, this is a stolen Kia. It was stolen out of northern Kentucky yesterday.
How we know it's stolen?
You can see we have two uniformed cars there. Prior to those uniformed cars arriving, we had two undercover cars that pulled into that dead end, saw the vehicle. They backed out. They saw that there were individuals inside the vehicle, so they backed out and let the uniform cars make the approach, which is the tactically sound decision to do. The cars are positioned the way the officers are trained. We are trained to use our vehicles as cover from any threat. That's what those officers did with the cars at that time.
Chief Thigi then played a short portion of the body camera.
Okay, so that's Pops right there. So, y'all see, man, Pops, you know, he under a lot of distress, as anybody who would be that is a parenting. We don't know that bond that man had with his son, you know what I'm saying? So when I did allegedly first see this content or this story break, it had a biopic of him and his son, and it had his son dressed inside a football uniform. So I was under the impression that the son, I know he's played football by this uniform and what's being showcased, but I was under the impression, was he in college? Is he still playing football right now? Or is this just the biopic picture they chose to place, you know what I'm saying? So, however, what I'm gonna say in this situation, right, them little dudes should have been found a way up out of there and or got on when they seen that first police cruiser in her car pull up in there and back up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, hold on, we out of here, in or pulled up out of there. However, regardless of how this is being explained, because you got the chief police, you know, the woman who was speaking, and she coming with the narrative, oh, you know, we got to do our job, and under situations where it's guns pointed at us, you know, it's almost going to end tragic every time because of this and this. I don't think no gun was ever pointed at no officer. And where is the righteousness if I haven't unloaded no shots at you or shot at you, if I'm fleeing, if I hop out of the car and I'm running away from you and you see me running towards the back, and even if you see a gun like this, how do they give you probable cause and or right to aim and shoot at me? And I'm running away from you. I get it and shoot a gun battle with you, and then I turn around and start running. That's something different. Already in exchange, you know what I'm saying? Some of these hollows up out of this barrel, so it's on, you know what I'm saying? But this is not justified. And I would like to see how they're gonna justify. Do they think it's justifiable just to shoot because somebody have a weapon? And it's just like, oh, I see a weapon, so shoot. Is that how the police train? Just when you see a weapon, shoot? Now, by no shape, form, or fashion, I really don't know what's going on, but what I'm seeing right here in the media. We've seen this a lot of times over the years with our folks, and I'm just not understanding how somebody fleeing away from the scene because they got a gun that gives you probable cause to shoot them in the back. And this ain't the first time I've seen it. I'm pretty sure we can pull a lot of skits up like this. But y'all see the father, he's there, and the father, whether he was in his right mind or not, he extracted vengeance, as he should have. And it's just all messed up and it's ugly because the other sheriff, you know what I'm saying, who was on duty, you know what I'm saying, that had his life unalived behind this man losing his son to the police department, had nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying? He had nothing to do with it. It was, you know what I'm saying, probably not even hip to the situation, you know what I'm saying? But being that it's in the same state and it's probably prime time news, he probably was knowledgeable, but I guarantee you he didn't know that he was gonna be unalive that day, you know what I'm saying, behind this. So people don't be thoughtful that every action have a reaction at times. But with that, we're gonna get into the rest of this footage, and you already know it's the halfway and a half effect we're gonna commentate.
Go ahead, Bobby.
He's got a gun on your right, on your right!
This is the body camera footage from the officer who actually shot Ryan Hinton.
This is the other officer, the one who fires the shot. This is his body camera as he approaches the scene.
All right, let's go try to find that body.
Of the moments that led to an officer-involved shooting and killing of a suspect in East Price Hill.
And WLWT News 5's Danielle Dindak has been leading the way on this investigation for us. She's live right now, walking us through the video. Hi, Danielle.
Wait, stop. You're not gonna accept that ridiculous offer for your car accident, are you? What do you mean? The insurance...
Hi there, Mike. This video is very fast. We're talking about 6 seconds. 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle and fired those shots. I do want to warn you, what you're about to watch could be hard to see.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun on your right, on your right!
In a matter of seconds. It all began with a stolen vehicle, a Kia from Edgewood, Kentucky. GPS tracking led the investigation here, a condo complex in East Price Hill. Officers arrived, and Chief Terry Thigi explains what happened next.
All four individuals get out and start running.
On your right, on your right!
Some in different directions. So officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we now know had a firearm in his hand.
At some point, the person with the gun slips.
They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpster.
The officer who fired the shots was chasing another suspect before he made contact with the armed suspect.
The officer who did just be very direct.
Stolen Kia.
All right.
Out of the police chief's office, and a few hours later, I was made aware that Rodney had an incident with a police officer that resulted in the officer's death. But again, we are here because we represent the estate and the police-involved shooting.
Rodney Hinton left the meeting with the police chief, and sometime after that is when police say he intentionally drove his vehicle into Deputy Larry Henderson. A probable cause affidavit states a Hamilton County Sheriff's Office deputy was standing on the sidewalk at the corner of the intersection outside of the lanes of travel where he was engaged in traffic control. The deputy was wearing a uniform and a fluorescent traffic vest. Based on witness statements and evidence of...
All right, they're getting deep into...
You know, it is what it is. And it is what it ain't. And what I'm going to say is that y'all hear what's going on and like, oh man, these little situations be ugly. So this dude, I'm still trying to figure out what angle he was shot from, because they explain the officer chasing somebody else and then somehow his attention turns in this dude's direction. And, oh, he got a gun, bow, 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 almost immediately. From what this chief police woman was explaining, she was saying that they knew he had a weapon because they heard when the metal hit the ground. How the hell, look, metal is metal. Like, is it a difference? Like, what if it's something that weight the same, a metal object that weight the same weight as a gun that hit the asphalt? That could have been a wrench, could have been some vice grips, could have been anything. Like, y'all just automatically like that was a weapon because y'all heard metal come into contact with the concrete. Oh, he has a weapon. And you don't know, walkie-talkie could have fell and made the sound. Like, let's just be real. So it just be crazy, like, with the tactics they be coming with and thinking they on poise and placing out here to subjects of the communities and of, you know what I'm saying, the world. Oh, well, you know, probable police cars, we had to do this and do that. Like, nah, man, that man didn't have to die. He was running away from y'all. When he dropped that gun, though, if this is true, when he fell and it looked like they do got pictures and footage of him falling from the body cam, he should just left that weapon down and just kept running, unless he was just like, man, I'm not about to leave my fingerprints gonna be on there and I'm not trying to get caught. However, what I will say and want to say about the situation, whatever he had going on, whether they're gonna try to say that he was involved in street activity and all the street life, it seemed like the father love did not falter, and or he didn't know anything of his son being in the street life, because it's like, you gotta understand, and as a parent, we know, like, if I got a kid that's in the street that's like disobeying me and just like, you know, this is what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? The bed you make is what you have to lie in. So it's like, either Pops didn't have no idea that his son was out thugging, you know what I'm saying, with some partners, you know what I'm saying, as the settings that the police here are trying to paint, and or Pops was just, you know, that son, that's my blood, my flesh and blood, it's my DNA, I'm thugging with him. Overall, the situation, Pops is trying to get out. So after, because y'all look, you know, you could tell Pops wasn't in his right mind, and you could tell the pain, you could see the pain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's under like any intoxicants, like as far as medication or like any substance, but you know, he in pain. Like, you know what I'm saying, his son, we don't know if that was his junior. He was definitely unalive in cold blood by the police, which led to him allegedly running his car into another police. And it's like, on both sides, it is a loss, as the lady explained, but who can you blame? Like who can you really blame? Because, like, I understand the officers, you probably, the officers, they gotta protect themselves like anybody else, regardless of their job title and what they do. A lot of these people have a family just like us, and they trying to make it back to them kids, their wife, spouse, or whoever at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Pet, fish, cat, dog, or whoever, you know what I'm saying? People love, you know what I'm saying? People differently have different relationships with different species out here. But, the father, he's definitely trying to get out on bail. So, he got his lawyer spitting for him and saying, under the guise of what had happened, my client wasn't in the right mind, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't thinking, definitely right, you know what I'm saying? And maybe, you know what I'm saying, he had a blur running into that police officer. And what's the chances of coincidence happening that he didn't try to kill that officer and just was like under an intoxicant, or, you know what I'm saying, just happened to like, fall into a daydream or anything, and this officer is right here at the intersection, and here goes his car, boom, right into him. They take him, run him. Oh, your son just got killed by a police officer. Oh, for sure, you extracted vengeance. You did this, you know what I'm saying? You did this on purpose. You know what I'm saying? We see it no other way unless, you know what I'm saying, it was people there to identify, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure at this intersection, it was people walking other cars there. Did somebody hear, did somebody see him and go right at the police? You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure, just like they got this body footage, you know what I'm saying, and cam, I'm pretty sure his cameras are at the intersection to show this situation that happened, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play the last bit of this footage in our audio, and you already know it's the halfway and the half effect. We're gonna commentate.
Coming lanes of traffic through the intersection and directly at the deputy, who was struck by the vehicle, causing injuries to the deputy. That intersection near the University of Cincinnati's campus has flowers and blue ribbons decorated in memory and in honor of Larry Henderson, a man who was simply working a detail directing traffic for the University of Cincinnati's graduation. He worked at a different agency, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, than the police officer who shot Ryan Hinton. Larry Henderson had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to Ryan Hinton. On Monday, Ryan Hinton's family stood with their lawyers, distancing themselves from what Ryan's father is accused of doing, intentionally murdering Deputy Henderson.
We're here because...
Okay, so that's the last bit of that. And allow me to say this. This is why these situations get ugly, too, because now you see his son unalived by a police officer. So the narrative they trying to paint that he got vengeance on his mind. So the first police he see that don't have no safety in or coverage around them, he, you know what I'm saying, press play. Allegedly, this is what they saying. This is the narrative they running with. His son got killed by police, so he seen the police, went out directing traffic, and it probably angered him, and he killed this police. Now, this police, although in the same state, is not even of the same agency or department of the police who killed his son. Two different agencies and departments. So now, the family, they probably spooked because this situation is placing a target on their back. He got a family. His police brothers is going to feel some type of way. They might want to hop in the field and act, you know what I'm saying, some vengeance for him. You know what I'm saying? So family members, they like, as he's showing like, man, look, we not with any of this. We don't know what's going on, but it's just like a lot of people ain't going to act like this. A lot of gang members not going to act like this. One of their homies that get shot by another gang member or somebody that look like them, people want to get away with the easy kill. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people want to get away with murder. Don't nobody want to go to jail for no murder and shit in jail, you know what I'm saying, for life. But when you playing with them tooties and you doing them crimes, you know what I'm saying, this right here is one of the prime situations that you can end up in. However, it's easy for me to come shoot somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, from a rival community, you know what I'm saying, but how many people got it in them, or how many people are going to go at the police when the police disrespect they loved ones? Small percentage. And my condolence to the police officer who had nothing to do with it and lost his life. But as well, to that brother for standing up for his son and standing up for something righteous. How can I not salute it? You know what I'm saying? But it's a poisonous situation. But it was a righteous stance on that brother's behalf. But it just so happened to be from a different agency and department. But all under one guise. They all under the agency of policing, you know what I'm saying? Just as well, the police don't care whether, you know what I'm saying, you from A-Tray, whether you from 6-0, whether you from Hoover, you know what I'm saying, whether you from Raymond. Like, y'all all gang members, you know what I'm saying? We all get hit with the same charges. We all be placed under the same guys, you know what I'm saying? Rules, regulations, and guidelines. It don't matter because you from this hood. You know what I'm saying? You know, they like thugging is thugging, cripping is cripping, blood is blood, and you guys are thieves, you guys are gang members, you guys are this, you guys are hoodlums, and stuff like that. So that's just something I want to point out. And like I said, man, for me, man, that's something to die about, man. Like, and a lot of people don't have that in them or not going to harm no police officer for harming one of their loved ones. And human beings is human beings, man. Like, it's an eye for an eye out here, man. You harm one of mine unwrongfully, of course I'm looking to enact vengeance. That's just how it go. That's just how it go. Because you a police officer, you got a badge that don't give you a license or right to kill. But we also got to be knowledgeable that this dude did have a gun. But if he's running away with a gun, I'm not going to understand it. I don't care. Even if I'm trying to place myself as a police, doing self-righteous things, you know what I'm saying? If I'm chasing a suspect and he's running from me, and he's running and he's got a gun, I'm not going to, whether I can catch him or not, I'm not going to get mad and stop and pow, 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 because he got a gun. And is he coming towards me or if he try to up, that's a whole different story. But that's just something I wanted to point out and something I had to shed light to, man. And we going to conclude this there. It's your boy, Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail.
Be acting like they own shit over there, my nigga. You feel me? Like, nigga, you don't own nothing over there, though, bro. Nigga, get to the hood. Nigga ain't got, nigga, we hand front somebody else's house. If you don't knock it off, nigga, I'm finna go in the house, go, nigga, take my shoes off, nigga, turn on YouTube, make me some content, and stay out you niggas' way. Because it be 10 niggas on the block with one strap. You feel me? I got my own strap. You feel me? I ain't passing shit on. And I ain't put my life in another nigga's hands. So the fix all that, right? I'm just stay my monkey ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And there's so much niggas telling out here nowadays. You don't know who's snitching. You feel me? You got a strap on you. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you got Crash, the FBI, the National Guards pulling out, going straight to you. But you want a nigga to come to the hood.